Hey, good morning. It's Paige Browning. It's Friday. This is Seattle Now. Kids got back into classrooms this week. Bands and performers will be all over stages this weekend, and it's still nice enough for a patio or a park picnic. James Miles, the executive director of Mentor Washington, and KUOW special projects editor Jeannie Yandel are here to debrief the week. But first, let's get you caught up. It is going to be a testy situation lining up for ferries this weekend. Washington State Ferries is already short on staff, and there's now a threat of a sick out from some ferry workers. They're protesting the vaccine mandate for state employees. So if you don't have a ferry reservation yet for the San Juan Islands, they're not booking anymore until next week. If you are hopping on a ferry, prepare to wait a while. Don't be surprised by cancellations, and consider biking or walking on. If you're going to a big game or concert anytime soon, don't forget your mask. King County health officials have deemed the spread of COVID severe enough they'll soon require masks at outdoor events. Starting Tuesday, masks will be required at any event of over 500 people. Masks are already required statewide in indoor public spaces. This weekend, before the directive takes effect, is chock full of big events. A festival at Seattle Center, multi-day concert at the Gorge Amphitheater, and the Washington State Fair. And there's more promise that one of Seattle's oldest festivals, Bumbershoot, will make a comeback. The festival host, Seattle Center, is seeking proposals for a new producing partner. If all goes well, it could be back summer of 2022. And by then, concerts could happen at Climate Pledge Arena. They'll pick an event organizer based on whether they can help Bumbershoot live on for years to come and on what they can offer to diverse communities. It's Friday again, and what a week. School started for most kids in the Seattle area. We got a little peek into some crisp September weather. And how about this story? 10 go-karts were stolen this week from the Family Fun Center in Tukwila. Now those stolen rides are popping up all over the place, like parking lots and golf courses. Jeannie Yandel is here with us today. She's KUOW's special projects editor and co-host of Battle Tactics for Your Sexist Workplace. Jeannie, if you had free reign of a go-kart, legally, of course, where would you take it?
Legally? I think whether it's legally or illegally, I would take it somewhere under cover of night and on back roads, because I cannot imagine a way to draw more attention to yourself than driving a go-kart on regular streets. That's just not something I want to do right now.
That's smart. It was quite the sight to see police officers who were obtaining these stolen go-karts, driving them back to the fun center, driving through the streets of Tukwila. James Miles is here too. He's the executive director of Mentor Washington and a former teacher known as the Fresh Professor. James, same question. What would your go-kart joyride look like?
I think I would only drive a go-kart. So it would be a perpetual joyride. I would get rid of all cars and only employ go-karts around the city of Seattle.
I'm changing my answer. I want to co-sign James's answer. That's a way better answer.
That's pretty good. For me, I'm envisioning some sort of real-life Mario Kart, Team Princess Peach, racing around a track maybe with a bunch of friends. There we go.
Yes. I would definitely race my daughters and my wife. Through Lincoln Park.
We'll invite Jeannie and I. We'll be there.
Done.
Along
Done
the beach.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, the biggest news of the week has to be school started again. For a lot of students, this was their first time back in the classroom since before the pandemic. We're talking early 2020. And I have a few experts on the topic that I want to bring in here. Let's hear what they have to say.
How was your first day of school?
Bad.
Why?
Because the bus was late and I didn't have any classes with my friends.
Are you eating a peach?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about you? How was your first day of school?
It was weird.
Why was it weird?
Because the classes are new and the teachers are new.
Classes are new, teachers are new. How about, is there one thing that you did like from today?
No. I got to sit with my friends at lunch.
How was your first day back at school?
Fun. I got my new locker, and I'm just glad to see all my friends again.
If there are kids listening to this who did not have a good first day of school, what would you like to tell them?
Even though it's not a good first day, there will be many more days. And many more first days, however old you are. Well, except if you're in college.
Jeannie, James, those were your kids. Oh my gosh, my heart.
Oh,
They're
yes.
Just chomping on a peach, talking about seeing their friends, getting a locker. Oh my gosh. A little bit of excitement, a little bit of frustration.
A lot of frustration, but also some excitement. They were so excited to leave and then come home. Because our kids had lunch at 10:30 in the morning and then got out of school at 3. Bus was late. They didn't get home until 4. They came in the house and just demolished our refrigerator.
I bet. Oh my gosh. Jeannie, what was the first day of school like at your household?
I woke up and my child was already fully dressed. Like, she was basically standing over me fully dressed.
Stella
and she was like,
pumped.
let's go. And
I'm ready.
Yeah. And I totally had this idea that we were going to, I keep falling prey to this idea of what parenthood looks like versus what my actual child wants. Like, I thought I was going to like walk her into, walk her up to like where her class was meeting, and I was going to hang out with her and take pictures. And basically we got halfway up the block and she was like, bye, Mom. Bye. Bye, Mom. Bye. Bye. And I circled back so I could meet the teacher. And she was like, she actually called me Mother. She was like, Mother, what are you doing
you got the glare.
here? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, 9-year-olds. All right.
I'm sorry, Jeannie. That's the age. You stop becoming mommy and you become mother.
Yes.
Mother.
I felt like I saw the rest of my life with her. I was like, okay, this is just a little glimpse into like how things are going to go from now on. Yeah.
Gosh. And James, your kids had a big transition during the pandemic. They started middle school, right?
They started middle school in the pandemic, going to a new school. We had just moved from New York, so that was also new. And then, they're entering school, which I think is maybe good. They skipped 6th grade and went straight to 7th grade. But
Sure.
Yeah. Definitely a strange time. Learning a new building, learning the new teachers, moving between classes, all that's new in middle school. And you're wearing a mask, and your teacher's wearing a mask.
And then it's exciting. We're seeing friends again.
Mm-hmm.
We're learning in person again. There's time for lunch at 10:30 in the morning, apparently. But it's also a bit scary, especially for kids that are unvaccinated, and scary for some families. Jeannie, are you talking to your kiddo about COVID safety at school?
Oh, yeah, 100%. She's not eligible to be vaccinated yet. We have no idea when she'll be eligible to be vaccinated. And as I've mentioned before on the show, I have a chronic illness, so I'm in a higher risk category anyway, even though I'm fully vaccinated. She's great about wearing a mask. She desperately wants to hug people. She has told me so many times she's sick of just hugging me and her dad. And, but we have conversations every day about what the appropriate distance is and everything else. She's pretty amazing at it. I'm really impressed with. I actually get confused by parents who argue that kids shouldn't wear masks and it's really hard for them, because I haven't met a kid yet who's had a problem with it. I don't know.
Not a single kid.
Yeah.
Nope. I agree.
James, have you noticed that there's like a little fashion component with the masks? Because
I wondered about
fashion
this.
masks in 4th grade is a real thing.
Oh, tell me about the decision making of how the kids decided what their statement mask was going to be. It's really part of your wardrobe now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. My daughter, River, had to have her mask match her outfit on the first day. We bought, I'm not exaggerating, about 30 masks for the 2 girls of different colors, different sizes, different persuasions. And to match each individual outfit of each day.
A mask for every occasion.
A mask for every occasion. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's totally real. So my spouse bought a ton of masks for Stella. She's very big into animal prints. And so so Tuesday night she was like trying on outfits and stuff, and she was trying on masks with them to try and decide whether like the leopard print mask was the move or the Zodiac mask was the right thing. Yeah, so it was important.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that shows a whole level of what culture of acceptance there has been for middle schoolers and youngsters about making it not something that they want to I guess, debate over, but they're bringing it into part of their outfit. It's their fashion now.
100%.
It's 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And my other daughter, Lily, is very practical. I'm wearing this mask because KN5. That's the one I'm using. I was like, oh, okay. It matches my black shoes. I was like, knock yourselves out.
Yep. Just keeping it practical.
Keeping it real.
You also work in education, James. You're a former teacher.
Yes.
What are you thinking about from the teacher and educator standpoint?
Oh, just how I wish they had more supports. Not just support systems for like resources and books and sites to use, but just emotional and mental wellness supports. You know, teachers are really, really struggling right now. Some of my friends are starting teaching for the first time this year, and they're scared. Not because of COVID, just like, how do I operate in a classroom with students that haven't been back in a school for 500 days or 2 years? What do I do? So I'm seeing a lot of concern about the pedagogy and like the teaching practice, and really a lot of hope for mental wellness and social emotional support that is not being provided as much as it should be. Yeah, too much focusing on the tests.
I have to say, James, as a parent, it's really validating to hear you talk about why are we focusing on tests and this idea of learning loss and kids falling behind. I keep hearing this as though, that's the problem to solve. And I'm kind of like, well, why are we still using those before times benchmarks? Like,
exactly.
What's going on there,
Yeah. We had this huge chance to revolutionize education. And instead, we're going back to do the same thing, focusing on the testing. I talked to a principal, and he says, we really want some supports for young people because on day one, we have to start teaching to the test. And I was like, wow, you're the principal saying that. You have control over your student and teacher body. Come on, push, brother, push.
Well, this is where we are today.
Yes.
We'll see if things transform. And I'll just leave us here that I am cheering for all of the kids going back to school and all the parents and teachers.
Yes.
So, yep. We are cheering loud.
We are.
Okay, one last story before we go. You might know Ezel's famous chicken. It's a Seattle staple. And while a lot of restaurants had a hard time during the pandemic, Ezel's did pretty well. So well that the company's founders wanted to pass on that good fortune. And now the Rudd family is going to give out grants to other local Black-owned businesses. They're starting what's called the Raising Up Black Businesses Initiative, RUB, and they're partnering with DoorDash to do it. So 20 local businesses, many that didn't qualify for federal assistance, are going to get grants of like $2,500, no strings attached. Jeannie, what did this story say to you when you heard about it?
I think the thing that made me really happy, and this is going to make me sound extremely wonky and uninteresting, but the fact that it was a totally unrestricted grant. Like, it's basically, this is just, we're writing you a check for $2,500. I've never run a small business, so I don't know if that is a make or break amount of money, but I can't imagine it wouldn't be helpful. I can't imagine it wouldn't, provide something that, that would be needed. And so, the thing that really excited me about it was, one, that, really any Black-owned business could apply, and two, that it's unrestricted. Like, they're not trying to tell you how to spend the money, which I think is super fantastic.
Yeah, James, what do you think?
I love it as well, and I wish other companies would do that. That was my first thought. Who else is doing this? $2,500 literally can keep the lights on in your place. That's your light. That's light bill. That could be your rent. That does a lot for you for just that 1 month. Where are the other larger organizations that are doing this? Like that are really profiting? I'm not going to name any names, Amazon, but where are the larger organizations? Or Target, for example.
It rhymes with Microsoft, but I'm not going to mention any names.
No, I just wish there was more. We talked about community and civic responsibility. That is your civic responsibility, right? If you have some extra dough, let's try to lift some other communities up. I'm a big fan of these Zels. Even though I'm a vegan, I'm a big fan.
There we go.
I never tasted it, but I imagine it's good.
Yeah. They've got potatoes.
Yeah. They've got potatoes.
They've got potatoes and corn.
Exactly. Well, let's leave it there today. Thanks so much to our guests, podcast host extraordinaire Jeannie Yandel and fresh professor James Miles. Thanks, you two.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paige.
Have a great weekend. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the show, tell a friend about us. Very easy to share an episode. You can do it right from your phone. Clare McGrane produced today's show. Our production team is Caroline Chamberlain Gomez, Jenny Cecil Moore, Diana Opong, Matt Martin, and Jason Pagano. Matt Jorgensen does our theme music. I'm Paige Browning. Enjoy your weekend.